going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be playing a new course. It's the Kraken out here in Seymour, North Carolina at Hyco Lake. Never played this course before, but finished my first full year playing disc golf. November 6th was my first round, and I want to do something a little different today for beginners and people who have never played the sport and are wanting to get into the sport. Today I'm going to do 5 things that I learned from my first full year playing disc golf. So stay tuned and let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right, so I'm going to start out here on hole 4. It's 290. It's down there to the bottom of the hill. The basket you're looking at is 5. It goes into the woods. It's a perfect backhand hole, but you guys know me. I don't throw backhands. But that's a perfect segue into what I'm going to talk about first. First thing I learned was play the game that you want to play. In other words, if you guys have been following the channel for a little bit, you know I don't throw very many backhands. Almost never. I throw more tomahawks and forehands than I do anything. And for some reason that seems to make people mad, but it's not the point. The point I'm trying to say is find your game and stick with it. The tomahawks and forehands just work for me. Baseball background, been throwing like this and like this my whole life, so I know how to take care of my arm and my shoulder. But whatever it is, find the game that works for you. Yeah, let's go ahead and toss this thing down there. Like I said, no full power, just kind of going to flick it down there and try to get down there to that opening. It might be a little short, but it should be down there in the right area. All right, so I got myself up here where I wanted to. I want to be a little bit more left, but learn something new every day. And I'm going to throw Psychic here. A little tomahawk, try to curve it around those trees and get it close to the basket. But anyway, don't let anybody tell you how to play the game. Obviously, if you're talking to a pro, yeah, they know a little bit more than I do. But don't let anybody, force you to do something that you don't want to do when it comes to disc golf. Oh, that's unfortunate. I still should have a putt though. It's your game. You decide how you want to play it. And that's something I had to learn really early on, especially after I got blasted on YouTube from another video of throwing tomahawks. We're not going to talk about that because that's in the past, but yeah, just play your game and have fun. Little 15-ish footer here. A little bit uphill, but shouldn't be a problem. Still working on getting the disc out flat. I really have to overemphasize almost the Annie angle here in order for me to do that, because as soon as I throw the disc, my wrist wants to do that. So I'm going to try to overemphasize and get out flat and put it in the basket. Oh! Left it a little short, but that's okay. But yeah, that's tip number 1. All right, hole 8, 250. It's right in between that big tree right there. It's in that cluster of trees. I'm gonna throw my Blaze from Gateway, new 7-speed. I'm trying out to put in the bag. But this is another thing that I've learned is that a positive mindset goes a long way in disc golf. If you come, and I'm guilty of it, I think we're all guilty of it, you show up to a tournament and you're really excited, you really want to win, and then things don't go your way after hole like 10 and you're losing, you just get mad and start to play worse. That's something that I had to get out of. I've gotten to the point where every time I go play, I'm just going to play to have fun. yes, I'm trying to get better. Yes, I want to win this, that, and the third. But the tournament that I won this season, the Virginia Commonwealth Games in the MA4 division, I said, I'm playing my favorite one of my favorite courses in Virginia twice, and then I get to have a challenge on the side of a mountain. So I'm just going to go in this thing and have fun. And I did, and I ended up winning, I think, by 4 strokes or so. But I never once got super mad at myself. I never once got super down. I was just, after, say, I threw a bad shot, oh well, let's throw the next one. That's the thing about golf, is the compounding mistakes is not, it ends up to compounding mistakes. So I'm going to try to get this thing, this is only my second time throwing it. So we'll see if I can make it work. We're going to try to get it in between those trees and give me a shot for a birdie here. Shoo, I turned it over. Flipped up a little bit on me. It was the right line, and then this is a perfect time to say, it's an easy hole. Yeah, should be a pretty easy birdie for me. Didn't throw the greatest shot. Oh well, move on to the next one, see what happens. So I ended up about pin high. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing you got to do. I know it's really low and probably can't see my face, but it's because I'm on the side of a hill. Another thing you got to do is be able to try to take positives from everything. Yes, I missed my line. Yes, I'm a little, it's a cakewalk of a hole should be for me, but I'm pin high. I chose the right disc. I just threw it incorrectly. However, I know that for next time that it's a perfect disc for this hole. I just have to hit my line. So we'll try to run it a little bit here. I apologize if you can't see. I'm standing in the way. This is the best that I could do. What I was given. Anyway, yeah, try to keep a positive attitude. Nobody wants to play with somebody who hates every shot that they throw, so it's not fun. But yeah, that's number 2. All right, guys, hole 10. It says 235, but it looks more like 100 and something. I'm gonna throw a buzzsaw here. A little hallway Mando left of that tree and right of that tree. Try to get it down there. Next point I want to talk about is understanding your body and your limits. Goes a long way. This is before I made a YouTube video, or YouTube channel, excuse me. But I'd played in a NADGT qualifier. It was really hot outside, at 95 to 97 degrees in Wilkes County, North Carolina, I think, maybe. But it's in the mountains. It was so hot, and that was my only DNF of the whole season. It's because I overdid it, ended up cramping up. Everything cramped up. I fell out. It was bad. But since then, I started to try to take care of everything and take care of myself, and I'm drinking a lot of water and bring mustard packs on days that it's hot. But yeah, understanding your body and your limits does go a long way. It prevents injury, prevents just not having a good time out here. But that's a big thing, especially with the way that I throw. Oh, get off it. Okay. Yeah, I learned to trust stretching and understand how my shoulder works, how my body works, when to stop, and when I can continue going. So, yeah, but understanding how your body works is a big part, plays in, your game too. I know I cannot throw 500 feet. I know I can barely reach 400 feet on some days. Most of the time my max is 350, 375. So understanding that, I know not to overdo it on some of these holes and just kind of play the percentages. Oh, wasn't bad. But that should lead me directly into my next point, which is distance is not the most important part of your game. All right, hole 13, saying 245. I'm not exactly sure how far it is. I'm not going to get out my rangefinder. Water carry though. But distance isn't everything. It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is consistency. And a lot of you are like, well, you know, a lot of the pros, they throw 500 feet and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get that. And if you want to be a pro, sure, that's probably an important thing, but it's not the most important thing. Being consistent in your putting, getting off the tee, fairway, anything in the fairway, that is the most important thing. If you're playing a 500-foot par 4, okay, 250, and your max distance is 250, but you're consistent with it, 250, 250, that's a birdie every time. Same thing goes for shorter holes. If 230, 245, 237, however long it is, if I'm consistent off the tee, I shouldn't lose a disc here. I'm not throwing forehand because everything dumps into the water. So my brain's telling me throw tomahawks. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw my Hooligan yeet. Just try to get it up into those trees. Try to get it over the water and just beyond that picnic table out there. Kerplunk. So that comes with inconsistency. It's unfortunate because that was one of my 2 yeets in the bag. Should have started it out more left, but that's the thing about distance. I had the distance. The distance wasn't the problem. The problem was I wasn't consistent with where I wanted to throw the disc, and that's the biggest thing. That's the most important thing in your disc golf game.
Still working on getting this new mic set up, but it's all about consistency. I was pin high here, and a lot of my shortcomings this season have been on consistency. As you can see, I missed the putt there, but consistency is much more important than distance, especially when you're just starting out playing the game.
All right, guys, hole 18, 180. Through this gap right here and around to the left. It's not far. But anyway, the last little piece of advice I want to give you is doing field work. So field work does several things, but one of the biggest things it does is it tells you what your discs are going to do in a controlled environment. Yes, I can come out here and play, and it's going to tell me, how they're going to fly. But when I'm doing field work, I don't have to worry about all these trees and stuff, and I can take some off, put a little extra on, see how hard I can throw something before it burns over. See distances, see how far my max distance is with every disc that I got. Field work has done a lot for me this season. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw my ET1 on a tomahawk line on the bigger-ish side, and try to throw it through that gap up top right here. I don't know if you can see, but it's right up there, and try to let it come down closer to the basket. Is this a backhand hole? Yes. Do I trust my backhand? Nope. And that's because I don't throw it during field work. I've messed around and thrown a few, but I still don't. It's not something that I trust. Could I get out there and do field work, learn a backhand a little bit? Yes, I could. Am I? Maybe. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But right now, this is the best option, and I know that because of the field work that I've done. Now that should be pretty close. But we'll see when we get down there. All right, so boom. Knowing what this disc does, I put myself within 10 feet, and it should be a pretty easy knockdown birdie. But that came from field work. That didn't come from me just hoping and praying that, yes, I've thrown this disc on a few holes like this and it's worked out. I know exactly how far this thing's going to fly, provided I don't hit anything on tomahawk, and that's something that you learn as you go along when doing field work. But that's going to be it today. Let me know if these tips helped you out at all. Like I said, I didn't expect to have a microphone, but Amazon's very fast, so I got it in time for this week's video. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I post every Friday. You don't want to miss next week's post. yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next Friday.